Improve yourself 1% every day. Because if you improve 1% every day, you will be 37 times better by the end of the year. Not just slightly better, not just more informed, but a completely different person. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. That's the line that changed it all for me. And I hope today it does the same for you. You see, success doesn't arrive like a lightning bolt. It sneaks in through the back door of discipline, of daily effort, of intentional improvement. Just 1%. That's all I'm asking. 1% of you, every day, made just a little better than yesterday. Because here's the truth. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. And that's what this message is about. The direction, the decision, the daily step. Let's walk through this journey together. Slow, simple, powerful. Not a race, but a rhythm. Not hype, but habits. Let me tell you something, my friend. It doesn't take a miracle. It doesn't take a genius. It doesn't even take a crowd cheering for you. It just takes this. A few simple disciplines practiced every day. Not once a month. Not when you're motivated. Every day. You see, most people are looking for the big break, the spotlight, the jackpot. They want to win the lottery of life without buying the ticket of self-discipline. But here's what I've learned in my years of teaching, building, and growing. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, while failure is simply a few errors in judgment, repeated every day. That's the difference. Discipline versus error. Repeated. And here's where the 1% rule comes in. If you can improve just 1% today, in how you think, in how you eat, in how you manage your time, in how you speak to others, in how you treat yourself, you compound that. Over a week, a month, a year, you are no longer the same person. The major value in life is not what you get. The major value in life is what you become. So, what are you becoming? More tired, more reactive, more doubtful? Or are you becoming wiser? More patient? More productive? More valuable? Because the man who improves 1% a day is a new man in 100 days and unrecognizable in 365. And no, you won't always feel like it. But remember this, motivation gets you going. Discipline keeps you growing. That's why the 1% path works. It doesn't rely on hype. It runs on habit. It moves on momentum. And here's a secret. Write this down if you have to. If you keep getting just 1% better, the world has no choice but to notice. Because growth is attractive. Excellence draws attention. And consistency, well, that changes everything. Let me give you an example. A man who reads 10 pages a day will finish 12 to 15 books in a year. That's not luck. That's not a seminar. That's not magic. That's a 1% habit. And that same principle applies to your health, your finances, your relationships, your career. Start with 1%. Start small, but start strong. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. 1 day at a time. 1% every day. So I challenge you not to climb a mountain today, but to lace your boots. Take the first step. Drink water instead of soda. Read 1 chapter. Say no to distractions. Say yes to self-respect, because that 1% matters. Remember this. It's the set of the sail, not the direction of the wind, that determines which way we will go. Set your sail. 1% today. 1% tomorrow. Soon enough, the winds will favor you, and the world will look different from the top. Let me ask you something. What's your routine? Not your dream, not your wish list, your daily routine. Because here's the truth. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. And therein lies the trap. People don't fail because they dream too small. They fail because they never build the habits to match their dreams. We all want something better. A better life, a better job, a better relationship, better health. But the question is, what are your daily habits doing about it? Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. You see, dreams are free. But habits have a price. The price of discipline, the price of consistency, the price of sacrifice. And most people don't want to pay. But let me remind you again, you can't hire someone to do your push-ups for you. You've got to do your own push-ups, your own work, your own habits. Let me give you something practical. Let's say your dream is to become financially independent. It sounds good, inspiring even. But if your daily habit is spending more than you earn, if you avoid reading, avoid budgeting, avoid learning, that dream is dead on arrival. Because your future isn't decided by your wishes. It's decided by what you do when no one's watching. Now here's the beautiful part. You don't need to change everything today. You just need to start one habit that moves you 1% forward. Let's say you read 10 pages a day. Small habit, easy to do. But in 1 year, that's 3,650 pages. That's 15 books. That's more than most people read in a lifetime. That's a habit with compounding results. And this works in any area. Want to be healthier? Habit. Drink more water. Take a walk. Want to think sharper? Habit. Reflect. Journal. Cut social media by 10 minutes. Want better relationships? Habit. Send one kind message. Make one phone call. These aren't revolutions. They're small corrections. But done daily, they reshape your future. Now listen closely. Success is not so much a matter of intelligence. It's a matter of inspiration and perspiration mixed with discipline. That's what builds character. That's what creates greatness. Not dreams, but habits. And don't misunderstand, I love dreams. They pull us forward. They ignite the spirit. But only habits keep the fire burning. Dreams without habits, that's fantasy. Habits without dreams, that's routine. But dreams fueled by daily habits, that's destiny. So I want you to write this down. Today's habits are tomorrow's reality. And when you look at your life, don't ask what you want. Ask what you're practicing. Because the man who practices clarity becomes focused. The man who practices movement becomes healthy. The man who practices generosity becomes rich in ways money can't buy. That's the truth. You don't need a new year. You don't need another goal. You need better habits, the kind that make success predictable. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. Choose your weight wisely and start small. Drink 1 glass of water. Read 5 pages. Write down 1 goal. Turn off the television 10 minutes early. And repeat that habit tomorrow. Because what you do daily becomes what you become permanently. And if you improve by 1% every day through habit, the future has no choice but to reward you. Your dream is valid, but your habits, they're either the bridge or the barrier. So I ask you again, what's your routine? Let me tell you something I learned many years ago. Either you run the day or the day runs you. And most people, they let the day run them. They wake up late. They rush into chaos. They react instead of lead. And then they wonder why life feels like a blur. But the 1%, the truly productive, the truly fulfilled, they start the day on their terms. They know that how you start determines how you finish. Let me say it plainly. The way you start your morning tells the world and your subconscious who's in charge. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And most of those disciplines begin before 9 a.m. Now, I'm not saying you need to wake up at 4:30 and run a marathon. That's not the point. The point is to own the first hour. Because if you win the first hour, you win the rhythm of the day. Let me walk you through what I call the power hour. The 60-minute investment that separates the successful from the scattered. Silence and gratitude, 10 minutes. Begin your day in silence. Reflect. Breathe. Be grateful for just one thing. Your health, your family, your mind, your opportunity. Learn to be thankful for what you already have while you pursue all that you want. Clarity and planning, 10 minutes. Write down your goals. What do you want today to feel like? What's your top priority? Don't let the day happen to you, design it. Learning 15 minutes. Read 10 pages of a good book. Personal development, philosophy, finance, leadership. Miss a meal, but don't miss a book. One page is a seed, and a mind fed daily becomes a force. Movement 15-20 minutes. Stretch, walk, breathe, move your body, not to look good for summer, but to tell your mind, we are in control today. Now you might say, Jim, I don't have an hour. That's okay. Start with 10 minutes. Start with one ritual. Because success doesn't demand perfection, it demands intention. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Let me give you a contrast, because sometimes we learn by seeing what not to do. Most people, they wake up and reach for their phone, scroll for 30 minutes. No plan, no gratitude, no direction. And before they even brush their teeth, they've fed their mind 17 distractions and 12 pieces of fear. That's not discipline. That's digital drift. But not you. You're here because you want to grow. So give yourself this gift. The first hour is yours. No social media, no emails, no chaos, just clarity. Let me show you how 1% works in the morning. One good thought before breakfast can change how you handle a problem at work. One small goal written down can keep you focused when everyone else is distracted. One glass of water, 1 minute of silence, one stretch. It may seem small, but stack that over 365 days. That's what we call transformation. Don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations are high. Be that crowd for yourself. Every morning, I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm asking you to be present. I'm asking you to take ownership. Start with a notepad. Write one goal. Take one deep breath. Read one page. And do it again tomorrow. That's the 1% path. That's how champions are built. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. It is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. And one of those fundamentals? Win the morning. Every day. Let me begin with a principle that shaped my entire life. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Simple? Yes. Easy? Number? Powerful? More than you can imagine. You see, your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant, it grows. Plant corn, you get corn. Plant nightshade, you get poison. The soil doesn't care. It just does its job. So the question is, what are you planting? Is it growth? Is it wisdom? Or is it weeds? Most people lose the battle of life long before they step out of the house, because they've already lost the battle in their mind. They wake up, and the first thing they do, feed their thoughts with worry, scroll through fear, listen to criticism. They let comparison creep in, doubt creep in, anger creep in, and they wonder why they feel overwhelmed. Let me say this clearly. You become what you think about most of the time. So if all you feed your mind is noise, don't be surprised when your life becomes a storm. You want to improve 1% every day? Then you must cut out the 99% that isn't helping you. Noise is the enemy of clarity. Noise distracts. Noise dilutes your focus. Noise creates mental clutter, and clutter is the enemy of creativity. It's not just the loud, obvious noise either. It's the subtle kind. The television show that makes mediocrity look glamorous. The social feed that sells you a highlight reel of someone else's life. The conversation that's 90% gossip and 10% truth. The friend that keeps pulling you down, not lifting you up. Let me give you a truth bomb. If you don't filter your inputs, you're feeding your failure. Now, here's the discipline part. You must stand guard. That means you decide what gets in. You decide what stays out. Start by asking yourself these 3 questions every single day. Is this information helping me grow? Is this conversation moving me forward? Is this person adding to my peace or subtracting from it? Because not everyone deserves a front row seat to your mind. Not every opinion is worth entertaining. Not every trend is worth following. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. Now, I'm not telling you to live like a monk. I'm not asking you to sit on a mountain and hum all day. But I'm asking you to replace noise with nutrition mental nutrition. So here's what to feed your mind instead. Read 10 pages of a good book every morning. Miss a meal, but don't miss a book. Why? Because books plant seeds. Good ones plant gardens. Listen to personal development audio while you commute. Turn your car into a mobile university. Watch content that educates, not just entertains. You can laugh, but make sure you learn. Journal your thoughts. Because when you see your thoughts, you can lead your thoughts. Let me go deeper. Protecting your mind isn't just about avoiding negativity. It's about creating space for peace, reflection, and clarity. Because noise isn't always external. Sometimes it's internal. It's your own voice saying, you're not good enough. It's your memory reminding you of every failure. It's your fear whispering, why try? So you must lead your inner world. You must replace those voices with a stronger one. Your voice of reason, of strength, of purpose. One of my favorite reminders is this. The major key to your better future is you, not your environment, not your past, not the noise around you. You. And you become better the moment you decide to take back your mental space. Let me give you some steps, because reflection without action is just entertainment. Here are 5 1% changes you can make today. Turn off notifications for social media. Reclaim your attention. Limit toxic people. Protect your circle. Protect your energy. Create a no-phone zone in the first hour of your day. Journal 3 thoughts every night. What I learned, what I'm grateful for, what I'll improve. Say no to one distraction today. Just one. Do that every day, and you'll go from distracted to disciplined, from scattered to sharpened. You won't see the shift in a day, but keep doing it. Keep protecting. Keep feeding your mind what it truly needs. Because eventually, the fog clears, and who you're becoming will surprise even you. Success is not to be pursued. It is to be attracted by the person you become. And that person, that strong, focused, consistent version of you, that person is built in quiet moments of discipline, by guarding the gates, by protecting the mind, by choosing silence over noise, books over scrolling, growth over gossip. If you want to grow 1% better every day, don't just add, subtract, cut the noise, clear the clutter, and become the person you were meant to be by mastering the battlefield of the mind. Let's take a moment. Close your eyes if you need to. And picture this. It's 365 days from now. 1 full year. What does your life look like if you had gotten just 1% better every single day? Now don't rush past that question. Let it sit. Because that's the question that separates the average from the extraordinary. Don't just count the days. Make the days count. Here's what I know for sure. You don't change your life in a day. You change it in daily deposits. Tiny acts of consistency, discipline, and effort. 1 glass of water. 1 journal entry. 1 thoughtful conversation. 1 hour of learning instead of 1 hour of scrolling. It's not glamorous. It won't go viral. But 365 of those? That's transformation. You see, the world teaches us to chase results, but success teaches us to chase process. Success is not magical or mysterious. It is the natural result of consistently applying basic fundamentals. And if you've done that for 365 days, here's what happens. That person who struggled to get up early now leads the day with calm and clarity. That person who didn't believe in themselves now speaks with confidence because they've earned it. That person who avoided responsibility now thrives on discipline. That's what 1% daily improvement does. It reshapes your habits. It rewires your mind. And most importantly, it redefines your identity. The greatest reward in becoming a millionaire is not the money. It's what you had to become to earn it. And the greatest reward in becoming consistent is who you become because of it. Let me remind you of something very important. Whether you grow or not, the year will pass. The days will move forward. The clock will tick. You will either design the next 365 or you will drift through them. And drifting is dangerous Because drifting leads to disappointment. Drifting leads to regret. Drifting means you're no longer in control of your destiny. You've handed the wheel to chance. But growth gives you the wheel back. And it all begins with a decision to get just a little better today than you were yesterday. Let's break it down. You gain clarity because growth demands vision. You gain confidence because growth builds credibility with yourself. You gain peace because growth quiets comparison. You gain momentum because small victories compound into massive wins. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. And if you chose the right direction and stayed with it for 365 days, let me tell you, people wouldn't just see your growth, they'd feel it. They'd feel your energy shift. They'd feel your mindset sharpen. They'd feel your presence get stronger. Because the man or woman who refuses to stop, who shows up even when it's hard, who reads the book when it's easier to scroll, who exercises when the body says rest, who writes goals when the mind says quit, that person becomes unshakable. So how do you make the next 365 days different? You do it one day at a time, one decision at a time, one habit at a time. And when you feel tired, you remember, when the promise is clear, the price is easy. When you know why you're growing, when you know who you're becoming, the little sacrifices won't feel like sacrifices anymore. They'll feel like building blocks, because that's what they are. So, my friend, I don't want you to just be inspired by this message. I want you to look back a year from now and say, I did it. I stayed the course. I changed my habits, changed my thoughts, changed my life. I kept showing up even when no one else clapped. I became someone I'm proud of. That's what this journey is all about. Not perfection, but progress. 1% every day. Not for a week. Not for a month. For a year. 365 chances. 365 choices. 365 steps. And if you don't stop, your future will be so bright you'll need shades. As we close today, remember this simple truth. Small daily improvements over time lead to stunning results. Just 1% better. Every day. It may seem small, almost invisible, but that tiny edge compounds. It builds momentum. It changes who you are and what you can achieve. So don't underestimate the power of 1%. Make it your daily habit, your daily commitment, your daily promise to yourself. Because if you improve by 1% every day, in just 1 year, you will be nearly 38 times better than when you started. Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. Keep showing up, keep growing, keep becoming the best version of yourself, 1% at a time. Thank you for joining me today. Now go forward and win your day 1% better.